Good afternoon, and welcome to the 2014 Foundation for Saline Area Schools kickoff game right here at Crabtree Field, Corona Athletic Complex. I am Cheryl Heft, and I am the president of the foundation and your referee for this game. Today, our foundation team will present to you the foundation past achievements and roll out a game plan for this school year. I'd like to thank the high school band, the high school and middle school football players and cheerleaders for our pregame activities. Also, a big thanks to the Saline Middle School leadership who are sitting behind me. And while I'm on that subject, we want you to eat. You don't need to look at me. The middle school leadership team will come to your tables for refills or anything that you need. We want you to enjoy your lunch, and we will move at a rather fast pace. Bathrooms are in the blue and gold building, the concession stand over to my right, and anyone in a referee shirt can help you with any other requests. With that, we have several dignitaries present. We appreciate your spending your time with us today. First of all, Pam Burns, candidate for Congress, 7th District. Please stand. And City of Saline Mayor, Brian Morrow. On the rear side of your program is a list of the committee for today, under the leadership of Heather Kellstrom. They put together 2 events under a tent and are serving approximately 275 people. I thank them tremendously for their time and effort. Also, please refer to the donors at the bottom, the thank yous. Many of you are sitting in the audience today, and we appreciate your participation in today's events. I would like to unveil to you, for the first time, the ABCs of Saline Area Schools. This book, a sofa table book, was put together as a foundation effort. The book is a collection of artwork, poetry, and quotes highlighting Saline Area Schools. There were over 200 contributors. It will be sold for the first time today back at the registration booth for $20. I want to thank Christina Bossinger, where are you, Christina? Okay, for putting this together, being the editor and the coordinator of this project, and she will be at that table. Assisting in the book printing is a major foundation supporter, McNaughton & Gunn, and their president, Julie McFarland. Julie, are you with us? Okay, Julie. McNaughton & Gunn prints our invitations and other publicity materials and was in on the production of this book. It is great to have a Saline company partnering with us. The foundation is also proud to have partners through our planned giving program. Will these 18 partners please stand? You know who you are. Okay. With that, we would like to give a personal thank you for your long-term commitment financially to the foundation and continuous support of our grants and projects. Many of you provide networking to others, informing them of our work, and we appreciate your participation. I already went through the kind of housekeeping for today, but please do eat and continue on. And if you need anything, I'll give the leadership students a second to come to the tables to help with anything. Together, we are kicking off this event. I'm going to throw this. The foundation is proceeding with a game plan that allows our team to focus on the skills, knowledge, and expertise that our students will master in order to be successful in college and their future careers. They will become a productive global citizen. The foundation's 2013-14 finances indicated that we distributed to the district just under $100,000 last year. This includes $21,000 in staff grants, and we achieved our goal for the strategic grant of $75,000 for next generation classrooms. We will share more on that shortly. These funds were distributed throughout the year and are in line with our mission to promote new and innovative projects. But more importantly, the foundation net assets for sustainability are growing. In June of 2013, our net assets were $410,000. This past June, they grew to $457,000, 11% increase. As we mature and our infrastructure expands, our expenses also increase, and they went up to 16%. But I am told that is in line with nonprofits. But we have also witnessed a tremendous increase in the number of sponsors and donors in 2013-14. We are in the first quarter, and Lindsay Gunther is our first receiver. Lindsay initiated her ball carrying with her application for a staff grant in fall of 2013. Approximately 55 staff requests were received by the foundation. 25 were awarded for the stated $21,000. As a high school special education teacher for nearly 2 years, Lindsay's request was for Lessons for Life at Weinberg Village. She has joined with Noah Campbell, a student in her class, and his father, Todd, today. Weinberg Village is a 5,000 square foot true-to-life cityscape where students with disabilities can narrow the gap between classroom learning and real-world experiences. These students learn life skills and are given the opportunity to confidentially assume responsibility and independence in the outside world. I am proud to present to you our first ball carrier, Mrs. Gunther, her student Noah, and his father Todd.
Good afternoon, everyone. First, I'd like to say thank you to the foundation for granting us the funding to take our students to the Weinberg Village, also known as Lifetown, last year. If it wasn't for funding like this, we wouldn't be able to do some of the projects that we've done. Taking our students, like Cheryl said, to the 5,000 square foot true-to-life cityscape provided unforgettable experiences. As special education staff, our biggest goal is to foster independence. We continuously help students to work on their daily and adaptive skills. Students who participated within the Lessons for Life at Lifetown worked on money management, following directions, problem solving, communication, socialization, and safety skills. The delivery of these lessons were provided in an extremely engaging way. Students were able to work directly on their own goals and objectives in a pressure-free environment at their own pace. Increased independence was achieved due to the safe boundaries that were set up by the village. The most enjoyable part of taking the students to Lifetown was the feedback that they gave us and then shared with their families. The students made numerous comments that they enjoyed Lifetown and that they wanted to go back. They were able to go home and share these experiences with their excitement, and it was evident when we showed up to the last time. We pulled into the parking lot and all of the students started chanting, "Lifetown, Lifetown." So Noah here is one of the students that attended those trips, and Noah's going to give me one awesome word to tell me what he thought of Lifetown. Okay, just give me a high five then, bud. High five. Awesome, right? Yeah.
Well, good afternoon. I apologize if I'm too loud or too soft. As I said this morning, I have an ear thing going on, so I can't tell how loud or soft I am. But I just want to take an opportunity to say thank you. And as I shared with this morning's group, most of us, if probably all of us in this tent, know the world-class general education programming here at Saline. Some of us may not know the world-class special education programming that is here in Saline. And that is a fact, and that's due in part by Kevin Musson and his team, and Mrs. G being one of those folks, and all the incredible and highly talented and skilled special educators in this school system. It's because of them, it's because of the programming that's afforded the program through organizations such as the Foundation to help with, again, helping these kids, young adults, get to that level of independence, whatever that level is for each one of them. But it is make no mistake, it is world class. But without these types of the support, I don't know that it gets there. So again, from the Campbell family, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you very much to the special education program, but also to the foundation. Thank you very much.
Noah. They made a score. Lindsay ran, but Noah made the score. Saline Foundation, 7. It is the second quarter. Our game is unique, though, and we are seeing another drive down the field for our 2013-14 strategic grant, Next Generation Classrooms. 7 classrooms at Harvest, Heritage, Middle School, and High School were equipped with gadgetry for the $75,000 given for the strategic grant. These monies supported learning experiences using iPads, Skype, smart boards, and many more that I do not even know, in a unique learning environment, unlike our traditional classrooms of yesterday. These classroom labs answer the need to match a student's learning style, pace, and interest with a given curriculum. It is a personalized learning where the educator's job is not to dispense knowledge, but to facilitate learning as the teacher is the architect in this environment, in that classroom, on the devices, online, and everywhere. We need to hear that story directly from a next generation field. To share his running ability of this program is Joe Palka, high school varsity football coach.
Thank you, Cheryl. I was expecting to make the fourth quarter recovery here, but she put me in the second quarter, so bear with me. First of all, thank you, Cheryl. You know, you talk about somebody that's a leader and a coach. I'd take her on my staff any day of the week. So appreciate the opportunity to speak up here. And one of the first questions you may have is, why is the head football coach, talking to the foundation? What could he possibly have to say as a coach? Well, the first thing I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm first and foremost an educator, and my father's a longtime superintendent in the state of Michigan. My mom worked basically her whole career at the University of Toledo. My sister Michelle, that you may or not know that we're related. Are you here, Michelle Monahan? She's a guidance counselor at the high school. My wife is a longtime elementary teacher, and I've got 3 children, 2 of which are in college right now, and believe it or not, without a doubt are studying education, and they plan on being teachers. So, it's near and dear to my heart. More than coaching, I've been a teacher for over 20 years. So, the impact and the things that we talk about today are unbelievably important to me. Second thing you may not know about me is I had a choice, and I came to this district because I chose to. And I had a good job. I also had a great football job. And people always ask, well, why did you leave where you came from to come to Saline? Well, honestly, I had 2 boys left that still needed to finish their high school career. And with my sister here and kind of have seen what had happened at Saline, the academic reputation, the excellence in the teaching staff, it was an unbelievable academic move for us to do that. So since I've been here, I've taken incredible pride in this district, not only in our community, and I always tell our team, you're not just the high school's team, you're Saline's team. And everything that we do is basically all about becoming a great citizen, and a large part of that is not how you play on the field, it's what you do in the classroom. I'm a firm believer in that, and the thing that I don't think people realize is where I came from was a school in Ohio, and that school had the ability to pass basically a millage every 4 years. So all of a sudden I would walk around the classrooms there, and there were smart boards galore, and there was just every possible teaching tool that you could have. Well, I'll tell you what, that district didn't have the test scores. That district didn't have the relationships. That district didn't have the types of teaching excellence that I saw at Saline. When I came here at Saline, I got to the high school and I started to walk around a little bit, and I noticed a lot of those things were not necessarily prevalent. And I started to ask, I asked around, well, what's happening? And all of a sudden, the foundation and Cheryl Heft and all those things started to come to the forefront. And the amount of ingenuity and creativity that our teaching staff across this district uses right now is unbelievable. But there are gaps, and the thing that amazes me is who always jumps in, kind of like I made that fourth quarter mention, who jumps in to fill the gap and get things done at the end? Well, it certainly is the foundation. So I don't think we realize how blessed we are to have the generosity, at least our teaching staff. I know we're starting to understand that, but this foundation is incredible. And the things that we get done in this district, especially from an academic standpoint, are just amazing. And all that thanks has to go to the foundation and in large part to the people here. I would share one last little example to you, and I will talk a little bit of football just for a second. 5 years ago, when we would do things from a football standpoint, a learning standpoint, we would take a VHS tape or a DVD tape, and we would look at it, and then we'd not everybody could see it, and then we'd also have kids that needed highlight tapes, and we would spend hours breaking it down and cutting it up and doing all those type of things. Well, what you're going to see here today that's happening in our elementary classrooms as a part of the foundation grant is also happening with our players from a football standpoint. The use of iPads for us has become unbelievable. The learning that happens, we're able to watch a practice or film a practice, and then that'll be up on the internet within 20 minutes of our practice. So we're not only wasting time, or stopped wasting time, after practice, continuing to try to get our film to work. Our kids will watch a quick shot of it, and then they go home, and through the course of the week, they'll be able to study what they did on the field, much like what they do in the classroom. We're also able to put opponent tape up there, so the use of the iPads, it's on their phones, it's in the iPad, has become unbelievable, and it's also trickled down now to the junior high level, where some of our guys that are out here today in the white jerseys, our junior high players, are having the ability to use that as well. So it's just a great example that you're going to learn about in a few minutes here, and I just am dumbfounded every time I sit and watch some of these elementary school kids continue to take us through the things that they've been afforded to learn from. So in closing, I would just like to say, number one, I'm blessed to be here. My family is blessed to be here. We had choices to make, and we definitely made the right choice. And since I've been here, whether it's academically or athletically, our goal is to be a state champion on the field, and I already believe that we're a state champion and a national champion academically. It's an unbelievable place to raise your kids. It's an unbelievable atmosphere to go to work every day. And again, I want to thank Cheryl. I want to thank you for the opportunity that we've all been afforded. One last thing. Let's beat Bedford on Friday night. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Saline Foundation scored again, 14. We now need to hear that real next generation story from the field, the actual academic field. To share her running ability of this program at Harvest Elementary is Principal Betty Rosenleacher. She has worked with Saline Area Schools for the past 10 years. In 2013-14, Harvest implemented the first early education next-gen learning lab. Together with her staff of Kristen Gearbach and Deb Smith, who are now coming forward, they will highlight for you and showcase this first year. Kristen teaches kindergarten. Deb is a first grade teacher. Both implemented next generation classrooms last year. Welcome, Betty, Deb, and Kristen.
Thank you so much for having us here this afternoon. And we have Megan Bush and her son Cooper joining us also. We're changing it up a little bit from our morning presentation, so we're excited to have them with us today too. First of all, thank you so much. Thanks to all of you for all of your support of Saline Area Schools and our Next Generation project in particular. I'm especially excited to be able to talk to you about what we're doing with our youngest students. Middle school, high school, it seems pretty natural that technology is infused with what they do, but we're excited about what we're doing with our youngest children, 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds, and then beyond. It's pretty amazing what your children and the children of Saline Area Schools gets to experience. It all started back in June of 2013, just over a year ago, when administration emailed these fine teachers that are standing behind me today. Hey, there's this really cool initiative, technology-based, differentiated program we want you to try out. It's really right up your alley. Teacher's response, excellent, we're up for anything. You know us. Admin, great. I'll see you on Wednesday. It's going to be fun and build student capacity. Teachers responded to me and said, lesson learned, do not check admin emails in the summer. The really wonderful thing about our Next Gen programs is the technology infusion and the ability that it brings to our kids to become initiators of their own learning, the independence that they bring to what they want to know and do. It's remarkable. Yes, 5-year-olds have a choice and have an opinion about what they want to learn. The mini iPad infusion in our classrooms in the kindergarten and first grade level have really given us that opportunity. I encourage you to come and visit our classrooms and see what they're doing. They have hope, they have optimism, they are in charge of what they want to know, learn, and be able to do. Beyond that, the level of collaboration amongst our staff is second to none. We'd go to our classroom, we had our curriculum, we had our textbook, we would teach our lessons. The conversation that is going on amongst teachers today is extraordinary. They're saying, hey, what are you doing? How are you implementing that? Can I come and check it out? I want to see what you're doing. I want to be a part of that. It's really quite miraculous. The conversation that's taking place across buildings is even more miraculous. They have ways to communicate. They don't have to pick up a phone anymore to do it. They're sharing ideas across buildings, across grades. It really is a pretty wonderful opportunity for our kids. We have to remember that our kids, this is native to them. This is the world that they live in. Technology is just a part of it. No longer is it paper and pencil and textbooks, but it's about the tools that we put in their hands so they can explore deeper. They want to go deeper, deeper than we could ever hope to have imagined. To hear the real meat and potatoes of what goes on, I'm going to turn it over next to Deb Smith and Kristen Gearbaugh. They're going to talk about their experience in the classroom, and then we'll hear from Megan Bush and Cooper a little bit from a mother and son perspective, what their experience was.
Sorry. All right. First of all, change was really, really hard for us. We had to deal with a new environment. We had new materials. The implementation of the next generation classrooms was always changing. Some things worked, some things didn't. We had to be flexible. Okay, great. Flexible, and we had to be open-minded.
So playing into all of that in our next generation classrooms, we did a lot of really great things, but one of the components that we really, really love was called eSpark. And we take students' standardized test scores and we differentiate their learning in 21st century quest format. So they were completing missions and quests that were tailored just to their needs based on what we thought of them academically and what the test scores showed. So along with all the amazing things that we did in our classroom with our mini iPads and even without them, just incorporating those 21st century, it's not on.
Keep going.
Okay.
There was a wireless mic here, but I don't know.
Here it is. So wait.
Time out.
Yep.
Twist that guy on.
We know just how to handle this. Oh, there we go. We're good. All right. Sorry for your luck. So, no penalty. So beyond eSpark, some of the things that immediately happened in our classrooms, we had to shift from the status quo, what a typical classroom looked like, what a typical classroom functioned like. We got rid of a lot of the paper. They were working on the iPads a lot, and thinking outside the box was the coolest thing that I was able to see, and making me think outside the box as a teacher, because I don't think that I was always good at that, but I was asking my students to do that. So it made me think outside the box and come up with some really creative things for the kids to work on. And then classroom layout, we really opened up the space, laid out our classroom very differently, and encouraged a lot of collaboration. And then
Pre-eSpark started real critical thinking and collaboration for our young students. It transformed our teaching and learning into other curricular areas.
We think it was a really positive environment this past year, and we're noticing it already this year. We've learned from some of the mistakes that we made last year and started off on the right foot this year. Ever-changing transformation, always being willing to kind of let the students guide us and guide their learning based on what they want to know. So we want to end with just some things we hear from inside the classroom. This is always our favorite part and some of the coolest things we heard last year. I can't wait to get on eSpark. It's really awesome.
I love taking the quiz.
Look, my score improved, so it just started to show that they really cared about what was happening, and they were really, really working hard toward their next goal, and they were goal setting themselves at such a young age.
I did a great job on my video. Can we share it?
So we thought we saw a lot of kids becoming more comfortable and taking risk and sharing what they're learning. You can share this one because it's yours too.
All right, Mrs. Smith, we just learned about this in our math lesson today. So making connections of what we've done already in our math lesson to what they're doing on eSpark.
And some things we never ever hear. I'm bored. When are we done? What are we doing next? So we feel like that's a success.
Next. All right, you stand right here. We'll use this one for him. Okay.
Hi, I'm Megan Bush. This is Cooper, and Cooper was in Kristen Gerbaugh's kindergarten class last year. And Betty wanted us to talk a little bit about, from my perspective as a parent, what it was like, and also hopefully Cooper will tell you a couple things. Some of you may know my husband, Nathan, who teaches in the technology department at the high school. We were excited that Cooper ended up in the next generation classroom because when Cooper comes home, he's living in a 21st century house with the laptops and the iPads and the phones. And to see him come home telling us about a new app and the things that he learned that day and wanting to download it and continue looking at things at home was really fun. They used Twitter a lot in their class. They reached out to a classroom in Texas and had ongoing conversations. They reached out to local news anchors that came and visited their class. So they really got a wide variety of different aspects of technology. It was fun to see. Cooper, do you want to say anything about what was fun about being in Mrs. Gerbaugh's class, what you liked about it? What was fun? Tell them about eSpark.
Well, eSpark had a lot of things in it, and you got to do a lot of cool stuff, and you just got to go to different apps and games and learn new stuff, and it was really fun doing it.
That took a lot of courage for him to come up here. I'm so proud of him. We are going to have some of our first and second graders. They were kindergarten and first graders when they participated in the Next Gen pilot. They're going to come to your tables, but they're going to need help because your table numbers have changed from our morning session. So they know what number table they're looking for, and we're going to need help finding them. On your tables are mini iPads with a bunch of photos in it. The photos show pictures from the classroom from last year, throughout the year. They're here to talk to you and answer questions about some of their experiences. So take advantage of their knowledge and their understanding of the Next Gen classroom. It really is very remarkable. And again, if there's ever anyone who wants to visit a Next Gen classroom, they're in all of our buildings now. Contact the building principal, ask if you can come in and take a peek. If you're coming K3, give us a couple more months though, because we're teaching the kids the ropes still. So, but we would love to have you come visit the classrooms.
Yep, you're right here.
Next generation classroom students, thank you very much. Next generation classroom students, you may exit over to the food area. Mrs. Kellstrom is there, and the hornet is no longer with us, so just exit to, the bees are with us, not the hornet. Thank you, Betty, Deb, Kristen, and all the Next Generation classroom students. It's Saline Foundation scored again, Foundation 28. I do want to introduce with a little bit of history so that her husband can say I completed it. Megan Bush was with us. She's an insurance agent in Ann Arbor. She's married to Nathan Bush, a high school teacher here in Saline. Cooper is a 6-year-old, and his dad described him as loving Legos, a creative thinker, and a creative artist. We thank you, Megan and Cooper. You took that score to 35. My papers got messed up, and I'll take the blame. So I had introduced Joe a little earlier, so I'm now at somewhat the end of the game. So I asked the table captains to distribute the folders, or you to look at the folders and pledge sheets. Guests, please review them at your leisure, but I'd like to highlight a few items. The most important thing in your folder is a half sheet on the left-hand side inviting you to the Hornet Patio on Friday night. Friday night's game with Bedford. You are now getting a pass from our Harvest students who are re-entering and giving you admission to the game Friday night. The Hornet Patio will be open for foundation tailgating for each of you, featuring Dan's Downtown and a variety of family activities, including a balloon artist, tattoos, plus our own Saline alumni, City of Saline Mayor Brian Morrow as a special host. Brian is even tossing the coin to start the game. Children at 6:45 will form a tunnel for our Hornet team, so bring your children. You and your family are invited back to beat Bedford Friday night on the patio and at the game. There is other information in the folder about our grants and Snow Blast. I am announcing for the first time today, Snow Blast on January 31st, 2015 at Travis Point. Tickets will go on sale in December. If you've not attended, this is a fun evening, a gala, not a sit-down dinner, but fun and food, and we invite you all. On the right side, as I said, is more information about the foundation. And now the more formal plea. Today, we ask each of you to join our team and join in the celebration of a winning tradition here in Saline. Our big announcement. The Foundation for Saline Area Schools is proud to have the 2014-15 strategic grant continue, and we will go into next generation classrooms for a second year, with more classrooms in all buildings being funded, and our financial goal this year is $80,000. We are confident that this year can fine-tune this opportunity. It will affect more students, more classrooms, and expand our reach into different grade levels and subject areas using the next-gen approach. Looking at Saline in another view, I am truly proud of the ranking of Bloomberg Business Week, that Saline is the best place to raise kids. I agree. And even rankings this past week, where Saline High School jumped 9 places in Newsweek's rankings of America's top high schools. Join me. I agree that there's applause. Join me in supporting those rankings. I believe it takes a variety of players, volunteers, our community, and you to reshape the future of Saline students. You, each of you, can help and reach this goal of $80,000 and make the 2014-15 strategic grant Next Gen 2 a reality. I'm excited to have you on the team as you complete your pledge sheet for that purpose. Previous plan givers, your table captains should have given you a special sheet made out with your name on. Please continue to support us. If your pledge is up in 2014, it's highlighted in green, and we ask you to recommit. Also, check the accuracy on those forms. We would like all pledge sheets returned today. We are in overtime. We need each of you to catch a ball, literally, and put this game out of reach. David Helmer and Tony Scheffler, please come forward. Tony played in the NFL as a tight end. He's a Saline resident with daughters in our district. David is a Hall of Fame auctioneer and a former Hornet football player when he was in high school. He, with Tony, will conduct our first football toss. The rules are, Tony will throw a football, signed by both him and Lloyd Carr, who was with us this morning, to anyone who increases their pledge in 2014-15 by $1,000. Either a new $1,000 or an increase in your plan giving or become a sponsor. We can definitely work out payment later. Any of you can make the foundation a winner by dedicating a new $1,000 to the foundation. David and Tony.
All right, everybody, this is a chance to have a little fun, play a little football, catch a ball from from a Chelsea Bulldog, but no, actually an NFL player, Tony Scheffler. So anyway,
Did some
hey,
damage out here.
yeah. All right, yeah, he did some damage. We'll put the highlights on next time. All right, who wants to be first? Who'll be the first for a football over here? All right, we've got. Hey, I do want to mention we've got Saline Hornet football team around here. If they want to catch the ball for some of these folks, we can do that. Thank you, Mr. Heft. Who's next? Ooh, we got a bomb in the back. Nice. There's a scrum. Nice pass. All right, who's next for a football? All right. Okay, well, we got a few over at Stan. Oh, here's, yes.
You make the grabs. You got it.
Yeah. All right. Stan, you want a player to catch it? All right, thank you very much. Very good. All right, who else is looking for a pass?
This is where you earn your money.
Yeah. All right, man, stand up. This is going to be good. Kind of drill that one in there, Tony. Yeah. All right. All right, we're looking for a couple more. Who wants to catch a pass? Oh, very good. One of the refs jumped in.
Got it?
All right, I want to let you know that you and Lloyd, nobody dropped a pass yet. Or no, for Lloyd, no one's dropped one for you, so the pressure's on a little bit. But he had a little more pepper on a few of these.
I heard he showed up a little underdressed like me, too.
Oh, yeah. No, you're good. You're good.
I didn't get the memo. Leave it to the retired guy to show up with holes in his jeans and a backwards hat.
You know what? He said that he didn't wear a suit or a tie, and he said that he was retired, so he didn't have to. That's what he said. All right, hey, we're looking for a couple more. Who's next? All right. You want to catch it, ma'am? All right, nice catch. All right, let's keep it going. Very good. We got a deep pass. Oh, and look at, yeah.
Well, I wasn't quarterback.
No, that's all right. Hey, if anybody wants to run a streak or something on the field, we could probably arrange it. All right, right close. Very good. Oh!
They're slippery. They're
Man,
slippery. They are slippery.
Very good. All right. Looking for a couple more. Who is next? Anybody else thinking about it? We're overtime here. We're looking for a couple more. Last call for a football. Oh wait, we've got. Oh, Mrs. Melcher, get ready. Oh no, that was close. All right. A couple of these guys look like they could play tight end, you know? Did we have some action over here? This might have been a case where one of the children were volunteering the services of their parent. Hey, if you got $1,000, let's do it. Ma'am, all right. Hey, hello. Very good. Pam, get ready. Oh, nice catch. Pam, you can talk about how you caught yours and she didn't, I was the guy that threw it. It was the guy that threw it, that's
Blame
for sure.
quarterback.
All right. Anybody else? I know a few of you are thinking about it. We don't want to put the pressure on you too bad, but we want it on you a little bit, you know. I report to Cheryl. Anybody else? This is last call for a football. Last call.
I'll take one.
All right. Tony takes one. Put him down. Way to go. All right. Thank you. Tony, great job.
Thanks,
Appreciate it.